Hello there. Yet more evidence that our society is fast disappearing around the lefty woke U-bend. The NHS has just been forced to release a jaw-dropping report about the Nottingham killer Valdo Calocane, who hails from the West African country of Guinea-Bissau. This shows a total litany of failures, and it all points towards lefty woke-induced failures. A known extreme mental illness sufferer left to his own devices who then kills 3 people. Just look at this Nottingham case. 3 people killed: Ian Coates, Barnaby Webber and Grace O'Malley Kumar, with the NHS doing all it can to hide any details they had on the killer, Valdo Calocane, who was under their care. From The Independent. Following the release of a damning report into his care treatment, the families have criticised the NHS for releasing their ticking time bomb killer despite being scared to treat him. Scared to treat him. They were so scared that he was allowed to wander around freely for months, unmedicated for his paranoid schizophrenic condition, because they were scared of him. The first question I would ask before I bring Richard in is a silly question, no doubt. Had Valdo Calocane been of the majority UK ethnicity, would he have been safely sectioned years ago and under permanent medication? Under the rules as I understand them, someone can be sectioned for up to 6 months, which can then be renewed depending upon their condition. And I ask this question as I personally believe that all the DEI training forced down public sector workers' throats has a huge effect on these sorts of outcomes. So, Richard, what do you think?
So, if they didn't treat him because of his ethnicity and they were too frightened to intervene because of his ethnicity, there's a word for that, Jeff. It's called being racist.
Yes.
And I think that the authorities right now, I mean, this goes to the top. We have to, and we can't be blaming Labour on this one, incidentally. We must be blaming our Conservative government, because this took place under these terrible events took place under a Conservative government, the Uniparty, effectively. So what we have to blame here is the woke left within both political parties, okay?
Yep.
So that's where the buck lies. We have got a woke system that is now, it's costing people's lives. Let's face it. It cost lives, I believe, in Southport. Yeah. It potentially has cost a lot more lives about certain events that have taken place very recently that I'm not allowed to say about. But it could have cost a lot more lives in this country and continues to cost lives of, in particular, young people. So that's the situation we have right now. We have a political system which then controls and sets out the feeders for the rest of the system, the care system, the etc., the police, everything. It all filters down, and it filters from one place alone, and that's from the top. That's it. Sorry, the top has accepted this. The top has promoted it. The top wanted woke. The top got woke, and this is what we have to live under. It is racism. They are racist. I'll give you another example of racism, incidentally. Angela Rayner. She wants this new, pushing this new Islamophobic council thing to dictate what is and what is not Islamophobic, which is a strange concept in its own right. And I believe that that is racist because they seem to be, I'll tell you why that's racist. It's because they want us all to believe that Islamophobia is somehow linked with racism. Okay, let's take you at your own metric there, then, Angela Rayner. So, then why are you singling out one specific religion for a phobia context? Why aren't you taking this and saying, like, all religions need to be brought under this broad band of religiosophobia? No. You've gone straight in with Islamophobia. Sorry, I am disgusted by it.
Yeah. But going back to this this case that we're talking about, do you know what we'll have? We're going to have an inquiry at some stage, and we will see exactly the same thing over this total horror show of an NHS report that we see for every other establishment failing. Set up an interminable inquiry. Dig out an old report, any old report, and look for all the get-out clauses. Hide the names, hide the accountability, and promise to learn lessons, rinse and repeat. We need to face up to reality in this country. Lefty wokeness by our uniparty establishment has finally destroyed what was already just a tolerably inefficient system. From known groomers to known dangerous people wandering the streets at will to attack who they want. The decades-long woke establishment has much to answer for. Woke ethnicity-based programs enforced in both the public and private sector have given lazy work-from-home employees a get-out clause where the difficult decisions are concerned. And in the public sector, we all know that this has led to thousands, at least, of youngsters being physically harmed, and probably hundreds of people being killed. In short, lefty woke policies kill people. That's the end of it, and it must end today. What do you think?
I totally agree, Jeff. The one thing that I have to say is that this goes just to the top, and I'm going back to the top of where it goes to, actually, because this goes to the very top, because we have a king who is just watching his entire nation fall apart, quite happily to do so. And I want to know why this is allowed to happen, why he's letting this happen. Does he not represent the people of this country? Is that what we're getting from this? We do know that he wants us to embrace people from other countries and be more caring. There's nothing wrong with embracing people from other countries, incidentally, and being more caring, providing they're coming here and they're suitable to live here. I mean, do you think that... Here's a question. Do you think you or I would be welcome in certain countries across the world right now? I can tell you, no, we wouldn't. We wouldn't be allowed in through the front door. Funny that, yet that is acceptable. But our king now is pushing for us to be welcoming to all peoples. And that also means allowing some people in who might not be well enough to integrate into society. That's the other side of it.
Yep. And I've got to say that all those people pushing the woke agenda, from ministers to civil servants to local authorities to those DEI departments, all have blood on their hands. We know it, while they ignore it, for the sake of diversity. If that's the price of diversity, then I say drop all this talk about diversity and save lives by getting back to good, old-fashioned British common sense.
Absolutely. Yeah, I totally agree. But right now we have a system in place that doesn't want common sense. That's it. Sorry. This all comes... Right. Here's the truth of the matter. Let's just stop beating around the bush. This comes down to one thing. We stop being proud in who we are as a nation, okay? Tucker Carlson summed it up the other day when he said Western civilization is one thing, Christianity. That is what Western civilization is. Without that, there is no Western civilization. So there we go. We need to get back to basics. Become a Christian country. Become a Christian nation. Stop being frightened to say the truth. That's the thing about being a Christian. You have to say the truth a lot more. Well, you need to do it all the time effectively. So if the truth is we have a country where certain things are being overlooked because of ethnicity and also ideology, then we have disparity. And that means the truth is not being spoken. And we do not have an egalitarian society or the aspiration towards one. That's the other side of it. The left are supposed to be... There's such a dichotomy here with the left. they are meant to aspire towards an egalitarian society and equality, but there is no such thing with them. They they have their own preferences, we should say.
Well, their whatever it's called, egalitarian society is based on not the content of your character. It's not based on that. Their equality is not based on that at all.
No.
Anyway,
no, there's nothing resembling a meritocracy or equality in what they believe should be happening. So, yeah.
No.
Anyway, Jeff, I think we've covered this one.
I've just got something to add about this. There is a BBC report from August last year on this Nottingham case about this particular guy, Valdo Callicane, and it said a doctor warned 3 years before the Nottingham attacks that Valdo Callicane's mental illness was so severe he could end up killing someone, the BBC can reveal. And as I said, that is from last year. So 3 years before that. But it gets worse than that. It goes on to say, Callicane was diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia in 2020 and was sectioned 4 times in less than 2 years. Going back all that time, and I said at the beginning, didn't I, that what the rules are, you could actually have a rolling 6-month section if you need to keep people safe from someone and make sure they're medicated. So why was he left to wander about unless it was for lefty, woke-based reasons? Why was he not locked up safely under medication?
Yeah.
How many other ticking time bombs just like him are living amongst us right now, all for the sake of woke lefty policies that favour the perpetrator over the law-abiding masses? And on that
absolutely,
note,
Jeff. Yeah, absolutely. And as far as I'm concerned, if this was, and I pray that this has nothing to do with race, that there is some other reason, because otherwise the authorities have acted in a racist manner. That's the truth of the matter.
Yeah.
There we go, Jeff.
Yeah, and on that note, I think we've said enough about this.
Yeah.
Before we get banned. And please do not forget to like, subscribe, and comment below. It's very well appreciated, and I hope you'll do so. Thank you very much for watching, and it's good afternoon from me.
And it's good afternoon from him. Good afternoon.
Thank you.